And we're back. I hate internet outages. I was... I was sitting there thinking, man, this is so hard. I hope nobody... Like, I hope nothing distracts me from trying to focus on this. And then the internet went down literally like 2 seconds later. I don't even know if it's the network or if it's like my computer or my router. It happens very, very rarely, and it usually fixes itself in the time it takes to restart the router and restart my network adapter. So I don't know which it is. But it does that sometimes, very randomly. And now I'm completely distracted and out of it. Oh. I had some idea. It was like... where was it? Because we want to start in the middle. But the middle is different depending on... This is so complicated. Because it also has to like go up and down. So at first we were gonna start at -1, -1. And that means we're checking down here. And then we go towards this edge, which in this case is minus. So that's correct. That's minus x. But we're in minus minus. And then we have to go from -0 -3 to -3 -0. And when we are here, we now need to change to +y as we go up for half of it, while we are still at -1 -1. And then when we get halfway up, we are at I wonder if like a segment like this would make more sense. But no, not really. Oh. So the for loop is gonna have to like turn around and like go up and down. Or maybe not. Hmm. Because it's not really... Yeah, if we're -1 -1, then this y, it doesn't progress until we come here, and then it should go up. So at -1, that means that this goes up. But then here we become -1 + 1, and then it still needs to go up, so oh. Yeah, I think it almost needs to have just hard-coded logic for every side. Almost. Like here, you do for a yy like that, and then you just do if x equals -1 and y equals -1, then here you have certain logic, and then else if. I feel like this is almost the better way to do it. But it might lead to code repetition, but I think that could be alleviated. I wish I had smaller legs so I could reach my keyboard around my leg there. But if we start at -1, we focus on that. We then need to make it go. So how do we do that? X outer should be X size halved. Let's start thinking only of a size 2 object. And that would be X size halved. But it needs to start at outer size halved. This is where the thing I was thinking of is. Because if we have 4 and we divide that by 2, then we have 2. But it's actually 0 to 3, right? I think. Wait, is it? No, it's... Well, it's not exactly, but... Yes. So it's gonna have to be -1. But that's only for one side, right? So it's gonna have to be... It's gonna be -1 plus 1. No, plus... -1 plus -2 plus x modulo 1. Maybe? This modulo goes all the way to 0, right? So then it would be, if the size is halved on 4, then we end up at 2, but we need to be at 1. So then we subtract 2 plus x. And then if we're at or should it be minus x? I don't know. It's kind of made sense to me before, but not now. No, it won't work, because no matter which way I modulo it. Well, that's not true, is it? If it's 1 modulo 1, then we should end up with 1. Yeah, no, and then 2 modulo 1 is 0. I feel like this just needs to be an if statement. Like, because what I want to do is I want to subtract if it's positive, but wait, wasn't there a double question mark thing? No, that was a null thing. I think this just has to be 2 plus no. Outer side halved minus if x equals -1, then +1, then -1, else 0. That's just how it has to be, I think. That's simpler. Instead of trying to solve it with math. But I'm actually not sure if this is correct. Because there's still one thing missing here, right? And that's the fact that all of these things here are based on the position of the object. So all of these values are going to have to be the bottom left tile of the object plus these values, right? So, but that does make it make sense. So that means it's always at like, the object is like at 0, 0, basically. And then we need to go around the object. But this is also not correct. I think I can't really do a for loop here. I mean, I can, but I think it's just gonna be complicated. I think instead it's gonna be a for loop that looks like this. Yeah, that's incomplete. Thank you, Visual Studio. Like that. And then we simply say int, no, let's just say vector 3 int xyz. And then we have to do something like if quadrant equals 1, xyz equals new vector 3 int -1, -1, 0. Right, and then here we have to do some logic. Or maybe the logic can be unified, but we just set some values here. But I do think that it's probably gonna have to have logic in here. Hmm. I think it should be something like this. We need a list. How do you write a tuple again? It's just like that. Something like that. So what we're gonna try doing first is we're gonna generate the targets. Because after that we can just for loop through the target list. And then just ray march towards them. That doesn't make it a whole lot easier. This is still... Still think it needs something like this. X equals outer size halved dot x. And as long as x is greater than or equal to 0. And then x minus minus. And y have a for loop here for y, which is then equals 0. And we're gonna keep going until as long as y is less than outer size halved dot y x plus plus, no, y plus plus, except this should be reversed. This still doesn't make sense. Hello, Volpis. Doing alright. I feel like this should maybe be like a while loop. Or something. Because if this is a for loop, if this is a nested for loop, then x is gonna keep resetting to outer size halved every time the y progresses, right? And that's not right. So this has to be something more, something different. It has to be like int length equals outer size dot outer size halved dot x plus outer size halved dot y, because they might not be uniform, plus action pf data dot action to trigger dot range. Think. So if we look here, we have a range of 3. So how many steps are we doing here? This is 2 plus 2, right? Plus range is 3. That would be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think it's this formula minus 1 always. Except what if it's 3? What if it's this size? Then it would always be here. But we would just not check it really, if it's already been checked. So now it's gonna be how this 1. So here it's gonna then be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it's halved, it's gonna be 1 plus 1, which is 2, plus 3, so it's 5. So here it's going to be plus uneven value, uneven size. Bool, uneven size equals new bool. How do you do it? True, false? Is this how you write it? Or is it just gonna be true, false? Okay, that works. So then we're gonna say if outer size dot x modulo 1 equals 0, then what does that mean? If it's 0, then it's 0. If it's 1, then it's 1. If it's 2, then it's 0. Then it's true. No, then it's false. Else true. And then we do the same thing here. But this is why. And then here we're gonna say range plus no, that won't make sense either. What if it's like this then? What if it's like this? Then this is gonna be 1. This is gonna be 2. 1 plus 2. And then we have a range of 3. So that should then be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Int position mod equals wow. What if we just say position mod equals outer size x modulo 1 plus outer size y modulo 1. I think that'll work. Well, not really. What's I thinking? size check. And then we say int position mod equals if size check equals 0, then 1. Else, if size check equals 1, then what did we say? Let's write this down. So if it's like this, then this is 2 plus 2 plus 3. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So even plus even equals -1. Odd plus odd equals +1. Even plus odd equals 0. Right? Hey. I'll be right back. No, I'm gonna thing on my little cupboard. Is that one better? Yep, they both suck. Whatever. So 0 is even, 1 is odd. So if 0 plus 0, that's even plus even. 1 is odd plus even. That's 0. Else -1. My brain is coming to a standstill. So we have the position mod. We are doing a quadrant. Why does it say that I'm live again? Did it disconnect? And yeah, I was thinking of doing it by range, right? But that still sucks. So it would be something like the length should be set here, and the length would always be outer size halved plus outer size halved plus range plus position mod. That would be the length. And then we would do 4. Oh, you fucking... And we would just start at 0. But I iterate through this, it's gonna be like... I just wish I could find a good way to do this with math so that I could just have like one nice thing. But I feel like this is just not gonna happen. It's gonna have to be like, if I is less than outer size held dot x, then we can do something. Oh man, I don't like this. Maybe, just maybe, instead of nested for loops, we have for loops in sequence. That could make sense. So we start with we make a vector 3 int called position or something, and that is gonna be this one is gonna start at outer size held dot x, and y is 0, z is 0, and then we iterate here on. We don't even need to set a value there. We're just gonna say, as long as cost.x is less than, no, is greater than or equals to 0, and cost.x minus minus. Then we do that. And then once we've iterated through that, we can do for, it's gonna be the same. But here it's gonna be position.x. 3. 1, 2. One. And we should keep going until or while y is less than range. I think that's okay. Because then if the range is 3, we do 1 and then we do 2. And then I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Um, we can say something like, you know, I think that'll work. And then here we say plus y plus y plus plus, while position dot y is less than outer size held dot y. Should probably be equals, less than or equals to. See, it keeps popping up. I'm now live again. Stream elements keeps spamming. What's it doing?